All right. Having one of those mornings where I just can't get this figured out. So, morning to all of you. It's Sunday, January 5th. I'm Gary Ryan for the Feg League Flash. And if I were to do a recap video the way I normally would do it, it would take me an hour. I'm not going to do an hour video. There's beyond the games, there were an amazing amount of storylines that went into each game. And so I kind of want to focus on that. So I'm going to give you the boards. All right. And you can see things. I'm not going to talk so much about this happened, and this happened, this happened. I'm going to talk about the stories behind what happened. First game, HC Venom playing a home game in Danbury, taking on the Hat Tricks. And Venom, they take a 2-0 lead. Danbury gets 3 goals in a row in the third period to force an overtime and then a shootout. Now, tons of shots in this game. As you can see, McCullum stops 49 of 52. Sokolov making his Venom debut, finally gets in net for the Venom, stops 46-49. We get to the shootout. First round, Connor Woolley gets a freaky kind of pop up bounce. The puck bounces in. It wasn't so much a shot as it was just momentum of the puck going forward, flying over and past Sokolov. Second round, it's Dustin Jesseau. And for a player as talented as Jesseau, he puts up a very lame shot, which McCullum stops. McCullum chirps, and yeah, is this the end of Justin Jesseau? Jesseau, no physical altercation, but there was a meeting of the minds. There was, face to face. There was one tiny little jab to the pillow. I mean, harmless physically, but that incensed the Venom bench, and you know, yeah, bye. So, you know, it McCullum knew how to get to Jesseau, and he did. So is Jesseau done? We don't know what this probation means. We know that the league does what they want to do with certain players. Is this the end of Jesseau? We will find out. We'll know probably within the first half of this week. All right, next game. Columbus and the Rock Lobsters. Columbus, after losing decisively on Friday, wins decisively on Saturday. 3 goals in 11 minutes, 38 seconds past Josh Rosenzweig, who leaves, gives up the net for Jack Bostet. Bostet keeps Athens in the game. In the third period, we had a moment where Martinson started barking at the officials, gets the gate, so he was gone. And then with 3 seconds left, Justin Portillo decides he wants to muck things up and starts a fight. And, is it worth it? 3 seconds left. So he's gone. I don't know if there's going to be any kind of disciplinary action taken against him. We will see. But yeah, the River Dragons, they're now in second place in the Continental. And then this game, what can you say? I watched the last 6 minutes of this game. The Dashers played well for 55 minutes. As we know, a game is 60 minutes long. And while the Dashers were giving up shot after shot after shot, they were playing with only 4 defensive men again. The Moccasins just couldn't solve Parker Rutherford until they get one past them. It was 2-0 Dashers, and Monroe systematically gets into the game. Parker Mescal dressed for the game. He's wearing the skates. He's wearing the chrome dome. Took regular shifts. Did not factor into the scoring in the game, but yeah, he was out there. Um, so anyway, 1740, Declan Conway scores the game tying goal. I have never felt emotion watching a YouTube game like I did right there. Parker Rutherford's dejection was palpable, giving up that goal, and I knew right there it is, 20 in a row. Sure enough, 57 seconds later, Kyle Heitzner gives the Moccasins the win. 63 shots on goal. Rutherford stopped 60, could not stop 61 or 62. And that's not on Rutherford. That's just, that's the way the season is. But you could feel uh, the vibe. So anyway, yeah. So 20 losses in a row, officially on Rumblebee watch for the Dashers. The Moccasins improved to 13, 8, and 5, and now in good shape for making a move. Perhaps they're only 9 points down in the standings. All right, for these games, I know the lighting is not great here. So anyway, and I got the reflection of the camera down here, but okay. For the Carolina Thunderbirds, not sure what happened other than Rutherford out goalied the Thunderbirds. Several great saves. Thunderbirds put tons of pressure on, 58 shots. And yeah, they just couldn't beat him. So again, it's another weekend where Gonzalez has one bad game and one fantastic game. So he stops 107 shots this weekend in 2 games. Sellout crowd watching, and just they're watching a clinic. Nate Keeley was the only one that could solve Rutherford. Yeah, it was quite a night. Eli Rivers bookends the game with the opening goal and the final goal. Opening goal was shorthanded. There was 1 second left on the power play opportunity, and he ends up scoring. In the meantime, he also gets the last goal, 1951, with the net empty. So yeah, there we go. Cavallari played well. Just he didn't play Rico well. Rico played Rico well. 24 of 26 saves for Cavallari, and Gonzalez 57 saves and 58 opportunities. His save percentage has got to be. He must have cracked the 920 plateau now. I'm going to have to check the stats later on. So there we go. This was also Josh Colton's 250th Fed game in his career. So congratulations to Colton on that milestone. But yeah, 3-1 win. The Rockers are now 11-13-1, and Carolina, despite losing, they're still in first place, 16-4-3. And there we go. So next game, go down to the Bayou, watch the Mississippi Seawolves on Star Wars night there, and the Wolves were not about to let things happen the way they did on Friday with them again. They give up the opening goal as Chuck Costello, he scores past Anton Borodkin at 10:53. That was the only goal of the first period. And Mississippi had a slight edge. The game was wide open, 16-14 in the shots. So both teams getting opportunities in the first. In the second period, Watertown storms back. Total defensive breakdown on a 4-on-1 breakaway. The Wolves got on the board. David Gaeta, he scores and puts Watertown on the board. So it's tied up after 2. Watertown taking the edge in shots in the second period. And then the third, Sam Best, it was a good effort, but not his best. I know, that was cheesy. All right. On order we go. Josh Tomasi scores on the power play on a very controversial penalty. Um, was it a cross check? Was it not? Tomasi scores at 2:25 to put Watertown up. Now it is tied up by. I'm sorry. Trevor Lord, he scores on the power play at 7:47. Chuck Costello doesn't tie it up, but he gets the Seawolves close at 7:59, just 12 seconds after Lord had scored. Mississippi and Costello, they make it 3-2, and it stays that way until right at the end. Sam Best has to vacate the net for the extra attacker, and David Gaeta gets the empty netter. So that's at 1937. And it's a 4-2 win for the Watertown Wolves, who improved to 14-8-1, while Mississippi is now 4-19-3. Crowd of 26-62 on hand. Brodkin saves 33 of 35. He needed this win. The last two times that Brodkin had been out wasn't a good outing, so he had a nice bounce back start. Trevor Lord, a goal and an assist. Gaeta with two goals, and Trevor Graspy, 2 assists from the blue line for the Wolves. Meanwhile, Costello had the 2 goals for the Seawolves, and Sam Best stops 41 of 44 in 59-34 played, but again, Mississippi comes up short, and it's a Wolves win. Surprise of the night, not necessarily by the fact that the Prowlers won. I predicted a split for this series. And Port Huron did indeed win, but 8-6. That was a surprise. Not a good night for Connor McAnanama. McAnanama, one of the best in the league, and he surrenders 8 goals and 25 shots. Everybody has a bad start. Vasilevsky, Bobrovsky, Shesterkin, they all have bad nights. Connor McAnanama, not a good night, but the sun will rise tomorrow for Binghamton. They are still in control of the Empire Division. So I mean, this game it would take 20 minutes just to read through the score sheet, I think. Port Huron gets on the board first, power play goal by Joe Frazee. Then we just had a glut of goals. Well, it wasn't too bad. In the first period, it was just 2-1. Binghamton gets goals from Stubbs and Deasy. In between the goals by Stubbs and Deasy, where Port Huron took a 2-1 lead. What a war of attrition. Ben Brockway goes out. He did not return. Gavin Yates gets hurt. He returned in the third period, but didn't look real healthy. Not cheap plays, not dirty hits. Just it was a tough game. Second period, Binghamton scores 4 of the 7 goals in the period. They get goals from Caden Henry, Chris Mott, Tyson Kirkby, and Austin Thompson. Meanwhile, the Prowlers get goals from Parsons, Alex Johnson, and Tucker Scantlebury. So at the end of 2, it's 5-5. It's crazy. And the shots were 28-15. So we got to the third, and in the end, the Prowler outscored Binghamton. It really was a scoring free-for-all. You had Austin Thompson briefly putting the Black Bears up, but then the Prowlers, 3 unanswered goals to win it. Goals by Millette, Deasy again, and Alex Johnson again. And there you go. So the Prowlers improved to 12-12-3. Binghamton 21-4-1. That snaps an 8-game winning streak by the Black Bears. Tons of scoring, as you can see by the list here. Thompson, 2 goals and an assist. Kirkby, a goal, 2 assists. We had Johnson, 2 goals and an assist. DZ, 2 goals and an assist. A goal and 2 assists by Scantlebury and by Joel 3Z. A goal and an assist from Brian Parsons. Dan Chartrand chipped in a couple of assists. So, yeah, a team that has struggled to score this year found a way to score and puts down an 8 spot on the top team in the league. So Nusiainen, after a rough first 2 periods, the third period he really settles down, gets in a groove. He saves 28 of 34 for the win. And yeah, there you go. It was a strange game, very strange game. And then our final game, this goes down to the wire. And yeah, storyline behind the scenes with this one. Bobcats looking to try and get a road sweep, can't do it. The Baton Rogue Zydeco end up getting the wins. Yeah, they were still wearing the Rogue sweaters, but they do look nice. They looked really nice. The green and the Mardi Gras colors, really really sharp looking. But anyway, so yeah, Scott Chirac opens as the scoring for the Zydeco, and then it's early in the second period. It is Garrett Johnson scoring just 18 seconds in. Kind of like, what happened there? Scott, I'm sorry, it's Jacob Wolf scoring on a 4-on-4 situation at 10:14. So it's 2-1 at the end of 2 in favor of the Zydeco. Shots were 28-17 in favor of the Zydeco. So they were playing a little bit more urgently than they did on Friday. So then we get to the third, and it is Scott Chirac scoring again. It's 3-1. It's looking like kind of rough for the Bobcats, but they storm back. Devin Sanders scores at 13:06, and the Bobcats are getting some good opportunities. They're just pummeling Bailey Stevens with shots. Meanwhile, Connor Green, he gets a break after facing a lot of shots early. He only faces 3 in the third period. So finally, 19-19, Green gets pulled, and Jacob Wolf scores with the extra attacker, and we go to extra sessions. Now the Zydeco start off on the short and I'm sorry on the power play rather, as Nick Stuckless got called for a penalty at 19:43. So the first 2 minutes basically it was a 4-on-4, a 4-on-3 situation, and then it ended up being 4-on-4. There was no stoppages of play in the overtime session, and so we get to the game waning down. 47 seconds left, and Tyler Larwood finally gets one past Green to give the Zydeco the 4-3 win. So there's a split for the weekend there. Bobcats are now 12-9-3. The Zydeco 17-7-3. Crowd of 4188 on hand. I believe that's the best crowd of the year at the Raising Cane Center. Green takes the loss. He stops 34-38 in 63:03 played, while Stevens gets the win. He stops 28 of 31. 2 goals by Jacob Wolf, and a goal and assist for Devin Sanders. Scott Chirac with the 2 goals and 2 assists from McGuire. And yeah, there we go. The Zydeco win, and they are just 1 point behind, 2 points behind, excuse me. They are 2 points behind because this was only a 2-point win. So there you go. Behind the scenes, there was a little bit of an exchange as some, this is in the Bobcats feed. A couple of fans said, "Gee, I wish they would do this. I wish they would do that." Or maybe we should switch goalies. Nothing harsh, nothing hurtful or anything like that. All I can say is to the people who are in the Fed and working, you got to remember this is a league that is driven by social media. All right, Everything hinges around social media, the YouTube, the Facebook, the marketing, the way the marketing happens. It's all social media. As such, you're gonna get a lot of feedback from the fans. If you don't want it, you shouldn't be in this business. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. All right. Sometimes fans are going to have some things that you don't like what they say, but sometimes they're going to say it. It's just the way it happens. All right. So that is that. That is our summary for yesterday's games. And yeah, again, a lot of storylines. Great games. There was one game tonight, Baton Rouge. No, it's not Baton Rouge. It is the Mississippi Seawolves taking on the Wolves. Yeah, Wolves and Wolves. That will be at 5:05 Eastern, 4:05 Central, and that'll wrap up our weekend. By the way, I went 12-2 on my picks these last 2 days, so pat on the back. All right, so there you go. There's all our storylines. Again, I kept it this short. This is as short as I could keep it. Tons of storylines. Amazing night in the Fed. It's the Fed. There's always going to be a story. All right, I am Gary Ryan for the Fed League Flash. Tomorrow we will have a game recap and stars of the week on the Flash Audio Network. All right, later on today I will post a picture on Facebook with the updated standings, the simplified updated standings. And there we go. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Make sure you're hitting like and subscribe. Follow me on Facebook, on the Flash Audio Network. I appreciate it. It's we're heading towards 2,700 in the Fed League Flash community. I appreciate all of you. Have yourselves a wonderful week ahead. We'll catch you very soon.